Hello and welcome to The Next Big Star. I'm your host, James Kelly, and my co-host is Nina de Vera de Rosa.
Absolutely.
Oh, goodness, that's a mouthful.
That's a
there,
mouthful.
I have to
You
say.
can call me just Ninon if you
Okay,
want.
we'll do
I mean, I think that might be easier.
Alright.
Would that be easier for you too? You
It's-
don't mind.
it's fine.
Jeray doesn't care.
Jeray Reed.
So we have Jeray Reed on the show with us today, and Jeray, I know you from a film you did, but we're going to talk about how you got into acting, why, and what you're doing now. So why don't you start off with your background? Give us a little bit about where you grew up, family, and that kind of thing.
Well, I'm from Las Vegas. I'm actually born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh,
In
wow.
Las Vegas?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm a rarity, apparently.
Yes, you are.
And acting, well, it's kind of been in and out of my life growing up, but I come from a family of entertainers, and it has just been something that I've always wanted to do. I didn't really know what I wanted to do that, and about 2.5 years ago, I said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and I haven't stopped since.
You made your mind up.
Yep.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have actually 4 sisters, but
Oh, wow.
I kind of don't talk to any of them.
Okay.
They're just all over the place.
We all know that.
Yeah.
We all
So your family still lives with you, your mom and dad?
My mother does live in Las Vegas. My father, he lives in Las Vegas as well.
Okay, all right.
Separately,
And
right?
They're in the industry, you said.
No, they're not. It's actually my uncles.
Oh, okay.
They're all in country music legends.
Oh, well, okay, great. That's nice. Yeah. So, you know a little bit about country music then.
I sure do.
Yeah, all right. And why did you start in the business? What got you started in the entertainment business?
Well, growing up around my uncles and going to shows, seeing other country music legends, and them singing, and I never really I love singing, but I'm more in the shower type of singer. I don't really want to perform it. I just wanted to do something. I wanted to perform too. For me, that was always creating characters, running around pretending to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, whoever it was that I could pretend growing up. And I loved movies. I just loved going to the movies or renting them from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video at the time. And that's my love and passion for that grew and coming through everything that I've experienced in my life, from military to being a skater days, high school, whatever. I became an actor.
Well, you didn't start out to be an actor though, because you were in the military for a while, and then you had other jobs, and you said it took you almost like 38 years to decide acting's what I want to do. Is that about right?
Right.
All right. How did that happen? What was the first movie you did?
Oh man.
Has it been a while?
It's been a while, but I always like to think that was all just kind of the warm up, the prelude
Practicing.
Yeah,
That was
but
like getting yourself prepared for the big part.
Every
Right.
actor has gone through that though.
Well, you have to start
Almost
somewhere.
Every single actor.
Yeah.
There are a few who have been lucky enough to start off in a film that was big, and then they just made it from there. But most everybody started in the independent film industry or doing something on a smaller
Yeah.
scale.
You've got to
to
find
get
out how it works and
yeah,
what
and
the characters.
So I think that's
and-
very normal.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I've done my fair share of background work and student films and whatnot. And I believe that everybody's journey is unique to them. I mean, that's their
Exactly.
journey.
Yeah.
You should never want to try to I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it exactly like that. You're going to find it's not going to be that way.
You've got to bring yourself into it.
Right. And I'm just enjoying the process of it, because I knew it was going to be probably one of the most difficult things I've ever tried to accomplish. But I'm having so much fun doing it and just doing it my way.
Right. Yeah. Now I met you on a film you did here at Porcupine's Media.
Yep.
And what was that film?
The Junkie Warrior.
All right. And you actually were on Ninon's show earlier today
Yeah.
to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Great show.
How did KK find you? Kay was the producer of the show, and I think she wrote it too.
Yep.
How did Kay find you, and how did that come about?
Well, I actually saw the post on a Facebook actor group that she had posted, and I was like, man, I know I fit that role perfectly. So I reached out like anybody else would, and she got back to me fairly quickly. I was surprised, and we connected, and I said, hey, I just want to talk to you. Just let me just give you a call. Here's my number. I didn't know she would take it. Some people are really weird about that stuff, but we chatted, and I told her all my background and everything. She's like, man, you're perfect for this. And I did an audition for her, sent a self-tape in, and the rest is history. I took the lead for Ron in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And you normally, because you were in the military, so it seems like it's a little easier to take those roles, but you recently have been booked for a different role in a different movie, and it is not military.
No.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So I actually have several. I mean, I guess that's a good.
Yeah, he's going to brag. Start bragging now.
Yeah, now's your time to brag.
Yeah, now come on, let's hear it all.
I mean, there's several films that I'm doing. I mean, and one of the things too is that there are no small parts. I mean, you're telling a story. So whether it's a lead role, supporting, or you just have one line. I mean,
Exactly.
There's a reason for everything in the story. But I actually just was casted. Rebecca Okonski, she's the casting director for this film called Songbird, and I'm casted as one of the characters in the movie. The main character is her father, and some flashback scenes and different things. So that's a.
You just got that though between interviewing my show and on this show. You just got that part, right?
Yep.
It's
sure
not
did.
amazing. So
Literally
congratulations today.
Yeah,
So
so we wanna
congratulations.
congratulate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I
That's
appreciate
amazing.
that.
Yeah, because that's a
So
big thing.
while he was in the studio, he
yeah,
got the
he
news.
got the part. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big thing. That's very big.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What I like what you just said too, because people forget where other people have started from. And I remember when Brad Pitt had a small part in Thelma and Louise, and you know it's amazing how a small part
amazing film.
can propel you to the next level.
Yeah.
Marcus McFadden has been on our show before. Marcus was in the Transformers or whatever, the one where they change the cars. Yeah.
Transformers.
Yeah, Transformers. He was in one of those movies, and you know, you never know what
Where
you're
it's
going
gonna
to be
take you.
in
Mhm.
and how you're going to get discovered, and it can really take you a long way, just a small part, because it's like you said, they're not just a small part. Every part of a movie is important. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be in the movie.
Correct.
So I
It's a
think,
good point because you said it was even if it's just one line, and it was well, I'm not going to do one line, but that one line, as you said about Brad Pitt, that can take you to the levels. And look where he is now because
Yeah.
of you know one little thing he did or one thing you've done. Look what you've done.
It's really, for me personally, I take it so personal. I like to get wrapped up in it. I like the subtext of each story, of each line, of each character. And it's just for me as an artist, as an actor. That's my thing. That's what I like to bring to each one of the films or each character that I
did you ever feel like you might be stereotyped? Because I know the film that you were in that we did here, it was a military back, and your background is military, and you've done a few more scenes or parts in other small films where you were military. Did you ever think that maybe that's all you were going to get? Because I know the part you got today is not.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of the earlier things, I was always either a cop or police officer or SWAT, detective, and then of course military. But you know, I use those as like training. It's like my training ground. I needed to get the experience for myself to keep growing. And
so you were
continue
okay
growing.
with that?
Yeah, no, totally okay with it. But I knew that's not. I'm not going to get typecasted always. I knew that there's my path. I already see where I'm going.
Okay.
And for me, I love all of it, but that's where I work really hard at what I'm doing, and I think that's where it differentiates the part with people that complain about getting typecasted or just fall into just being complacent with it. For me, I know I'm not going to be that way all the time. I know that's why I work, and now I'm doing other roles that have nothing to do with any of those. So.
Well, because you know, a lot of times people will be on a show, and I give you an example. Married with Children, all the people who are on what is it? Not Ed Asner, but the father, and then you had Katie Seagal, who was the mother. You know, I'm sure they all think, well, I don't want to be known just for that character. I mean, you kind of want to be known if it's a success. You know, that was part of your career.
But you don't want that all the time.
But
a lot of them
no,
don't want to be typecast.
she's
It's
in
all
Rebel now.
it's all typecasting,
Rebel's
and they don't want that.
completely different
Yes.
than Married with Children.
Yes.
And that's the fear I think a lot of people have is I don't want to be known for just that character because I'm more than just that character.
But at the same time, you still want to get the part. You still want to. You
Right.
still want to act. You still want to do what you're doing, and
Right.
you sometimes have to accept it. Saying, "Well, okay, I'll accept it, but I really want to play a different part." But you've broken that now, haven't you? You've kind of changed it.
I'm in the very beginning stages of that.
Of breaking it, yes. Right. This is the new one coming up.
Correct. I still don't even have a talent manager agent. I've been pounding pavement doing this all by myself. So
Well,
and my
Well,
wife
that's what
too
you
as
do
well.
anyway. Even if you do
Yeah.
have an agent, you still pound the
Yeah,
pavements.
you're gonna find you still have to do
You
all
still
that.
have to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's that way in
They'll
every
pick
part of
you
the
up when
industry.
you're really big. They'll pick you up because there's money there.
It's interesting you should say that because I've been involved in, when it comes to authors, majoring into sort of the author categories. I've been involved now in the music industry, whether I wanted to be or not. And then I've been involved in the acting part of it as well. And it is true, exactly what Ninon just said. It doesn't matter, when you're in the entertainment business, it is no longer like the old Hollywood, for instance, to
No.
where you depended on the agents or you depended on the studio to put you to work. You have to go out there and make
Yeah.
it happen. I mean, it really is to that
And when you
point now.
become big, they're all fighting to have you.
Right, they all want
they,
you
they all
big,
want you when
but-
you're big. But
And
getting there,
that's really what you want is, I mean, if they're fighting for you, I mean, you're obviously doing something right.
Right.
And then, you know, I hear so many like scary stories. I'm actually glad it's working this way, and I don't have somebody yet, because it's the right one's going to come when they need to.
Yeah.
It's a business,
And
It
you
is a
know-
business.
And
It
you know
is.
now what to look for in an agent or a manager because you know you've done it yourself.
100%.
So you know what they need to be doing for you.
Right.
Yes.
And it's a relationship.
Right.
More so or less, it's a marriage.
Right, exactly.
yeah, definitely a relationship. They've definitely you definitely got to like each other.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be at the bottom of the list.
And you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we know you got the film today.
Yeah. How exciting that is!
Have you auditioned for anything else going forward? What else is
You
in
got something
line?
else going on.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, I can't really say too much about it, but there's another film with a good friend of mine. We talk all the time. His name's Tom Gianelli. He comes from a long list of family that's in Hollywood, old Hollywood. Stuntman, actor himself, writer, director. I mean, he's done it all. He's very, very talented. Tom Gianelli is his name. And so he has a film, and once again, kind of like my military background got to that and fit the role, and I'll be playing a lead role in his film as well, called Quantum Entanglement.
Okay.
Well, that's a good thing though, because at least you're getting into these movies and you're getting to get into the business,
Exactly.
and then you can try to change yourself in other parts. Otherwise, if you hadn't had that experience, you might not have got those parts.
Exactly.
So you've got to be thankful sometimes.
Right. And you can break the mold. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of finding the right time. And you know what? Did you ever think about writing your own scripts down the road?
You know, writing was that thing for me that I was good at it because I would get good grades with it, but like I would want to do anything else than to write.
So the
It's-
creative
it's
side of
hard.
you've never thought about writing a script?
I have, especially since, you know, diving in this is everything I eat, breathe, sleep, acting, and but reading scripts, reading books, I read all the time, memoirs specifically, but writing, I have such a mad respect for writers, and I do see myself getting there, more so of like maybe like ghostwriting or like somebody being the writer for me, but yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, why not?
So
Do
you
it
have
all.
ideas then?
I have ideas.
And you'll
for
probably
sure.
be a producer and a director. They all, you know, once you've been acting, you've got to be a director as well. So that's going to happen.
At some point.
It's all, yeah, not yet. You've got
We're
to
really
be
putting
the
him out
actor.
there now.
Yeah, he's
very
going to
green.
be everything.
Yeah, we'll have him back when he's doing that first big motion
Yeah, that
picture
big.
he's
Oh,
producing
yes, and
and
he's
directing,
and
so,
he's the
yeah,
star.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
All right. So anything else we need to know about you? I want you to talk a little bit about the movie you did with KK. We want you to give her a nice plug.
Yeah, I mean, other than that's in post right now, The Junkie Warrior. Of course, the few movies that I've got coming up that I'm going to be in. Just auditioning away.
What was your part in The Junkie Warrior?
I play Ron, who is a military guy and comes back from the military. It becomes too much for him. He has to handle PTSD and vices that he had from before. He ends up circling back around with those and gets in a little bit of
Bit
trouble.
of a mess. Sounds like he was a mess.
It's just one
Doesn't
bad
this
thing
also
after
lead
another.
into LSD or something?
Heroin actually,
Oh,
and that's
heroin.
actually why I'm wearing the. I wore the Red Hot Chili Pepper, which is one of my favorite bands of all time. So they're amazing. But one of the things I did with research for this particular part was Anthony Kiedis' book, Scar Tissue. I don't know if you know too much about him, but he was a heroin addict, and actually a functioning heroin addict when he was coming up the ranks with their band as the
Okay.
lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I did a lot. I read that book. It was amazing. Took a lot of that research and stuff into the role.
Okay. All right.
A lot of stories with all the drugs. A lot of stuff,
Yeah.
especially in the music industry.
Yeah. I actually just met someone, not it was during, we're going off the subject a little bit, but I just recently met someone who they're doing a documentary on LSD, and it's the actual story of how it was created. And I forgot who the guy was famous for making LSD popular, but there was someone else who actually did.
It's a doctor, wasn't it?
Yeah, but this guy created it in the lab, and then it was given to someone else, and it became what it did. But it was basically an experiment for the government too, as a mind control. I think they were
all
used for the
experience.
military at one point. But anyway, that's going to be a huge motion picture they're making right now. Or,
In the works of it,
Right,
yeah.
it's in the works right now. But that whole story, we think of drugs as being, well, obviously taboo or horrible. I'm not sure where Kay was going with her story. Can you explain a little bit with where you were going with the
I
junkie warrior?
for me, for my character, I took it as just something he wanted to use to escape, because he had too many other problems that were going on, and the real enemy in this film wasn't the drug use, it was the PTSD that was really what was crippling. That was the drug. That was the disease.
So it's really about PTSD then.
more so. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, well, anyway, I promised Kay we would mention this on the show today. That's why we've got you here.
There you
So,
go.
but we are interested
Promote
in
her
you.
movie,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
we want to make sure that
Super talented.
And also, she's a
Yeah, she
woman
is.
doing what she's doing, so she needs even more promotion.
And yeah, she kind of like wrote and produced.
She
and-
wrote, produced it, and put it all
Did
together.
she direct it as well?
Yeah.
She
She had someone else. But
yeah, somebody else.
But she's
Mr.
still
Chow was
part-
actually the director.
yeah.
Phenomenal. We connected really well on that film, but yeah, hats off to Kate. I mean, it's not easy.
For a woman, it's not easy. So
Yeah, just in all around in general, all the things cars were get stacked up against her, and she didn't. She pulled
she
it
did
off.
it.
Yeah,
She did it.
she absolutely can
Yeah.
and did it. So we're gonna definitely go to the premiere when it comes out. So
Yeah.
you'll see us there.
Yes.
I look forward to it.
All right. And I actually, they threw me in there. I have to say this because I'm not an actor, but you guys threw me in there, and I think it was silly. I'm sure I'm on the cutting room floor, but
No, you're not, James.
don't be
No, you've
surprised.
got to
I'm
be.
sure I am.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was fun. So thank you so much, Jeray, for being on the show today. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
amazing, absolutely.
Alright,
Congratulations to all these
Thank you
new
so
parts
much.
and everything. It's exciting.
And we're
Yes.
going to have you back the next time you're in the next film. We want to keep track of your career and where you're going next.
Absolutely.
appreciate it. I love
yeah.
you.
All right,
Be
yeah.
thanks,
yeah.
Jeray.
We
Thank,
shall do
thank
that.
you, Nina. for
Thank you,
being on.
James. I loved it.
Alright,
Loved it.
thank
I
you.
always love this program. Boosting people up in the industry, I think it's really cool.
All right, that's
Yeah,
what we're
they
here
need
for.
that.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Take care.